So I put out a video on the Mario movie last week and people went bananas over it in the comment section. I did not realize how crazily heated people were getting about this movie until I put out this video. Hey beautiful humans, I'm RidersDX and I thought for today's video we would go into the comment section of that video and respond to some of people's feedback about the Mario movie because I think you all have some really interesting opinions. Some of them are a little bit extreme, and let me tell you, some people are going to bat for this movie, which I can respect. But I'm going to be brutally honest with some of these comments, so just get ready for that. Big thing that we're going to talk about in this video is Chris Pratt's voice in the Mario movie, because even though my video was not really about Chris Pratt's voice, I made like an offhand comment about Chris Pratt's voice, and that was enough to ignite what I think was a ticking time bomb in the comment section. So we're going to just like dive into that explosion and really get down and dirty as to whether or not his portrayal as Mario is going to be good or not. So let's take a look at some of these comments. This first one was something I actually did not think about going to this movie, but I thought it was a really interesting point to bring up. It's going to be a disaster because they switched Luigi and Peach's roles. Mario and Luigi are the ones that are supposed to go on an adventure to rescue Princess Peach from Bowser. It's not supposed to be Mario and Peach going on an adventure to rescue Luigi from Bowser. That's honestly not something I thought about going to this movie at all. In fact, I thought it was kind of refreshing that they were going to go for like a different angle, but someone actually replied to this comment with a take that I can wholeheartedly agree with. No, it's not going to be a disaster because of that. It actually makes sense if you're about to think about it. Why would Mario save a princess he barely knows? It makes way more sense for him to risk his life for his brother instead. I think that this angle that they're going for in the movie creates a much more compelling angle to get people more invested in it, because yeah, it makes so much more sense for Mario to be in this like random world he's never been in before and to feel motivated by rescuing his brother rather than Princess Peach, you know? Princess Peach may be like the most beautiful woman in the world in Mario's eyes, but they're complete strangers in the beginning of this movie, so it makes so much more sense for Mario to be willing to put up with so much of this wacky and insane stuff that he's never experienced before because his brother is in danger. So I actually think it creates a much more compelling story, and I'm looking forward to seeing that play out because yeah, that's not really a common scenario we see in the Mario games, so I'm really excited to see that. Alright, this is the first really big negative one that I want to address, and that's the fact that people have a problem with the fact that I'm a big Sonic fan.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
So here, oh god, the Sonic fans and Sonic fanboys are annoying as they are about the fight of movies. Let me just say that, yes, I'm a huge Sonic fan. I am a big Mario fan, but I am a humongous Sonic fan. Sonic is honestly like my biggest video game franchise that I stand for. Sonic has been with me since I was a child. There's nothing I can do to fix that. I can't go back in time and be like, hey, instead of playing Sonic Heroes, why don't you play Super Mario Sunshine? You know, I can't do that. And so that's going to be something that's going to impact my opinion of this movie because yeah, I'm a huge Sonic fan and I was a big fan of Sonic movie. I'm going to be impacted by that opinion. This leads me into this comment over here, which I just wanted to kind of do a quick little rant about. This video seems biased. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I don't care what people say about this, but there is no such thing as an unbiased opinion in this world. Every single person's opinion on anything is going to be biased to some degree. Everyone's personality and opinions are molded by their experiences, the place that they grew up in, the people that they were raised by, the people that they talk to. Everyone has 10,000 different influences going into their opinions on something. And so my opinion is simply very much influenced by the fact that I love Sonic the Hedgehog, and that's just it. So I just want to get that out there. There's no such thing as an unbiased opinion, and you really should not go into videos expecting an unbiased opinion. In fact, that makes opinions like really interesting in my opinion, is that everyone has different experiences, different interests that really influence their way of thought with certain topics, and my opinion just happens to be heavily influenced by the Sonic movie. And so that's that. If you don't like my opinion, then let it be known, I guess. This next comment was a little interesting. I am scared for this movie because it's made by Illumination. I am not a fan of Illumination films. They even ruined the Lorax and the Grinch. I will admit, I haven't seen those movies. I actually don't think I've seen an Illumination movie like ever. I don't know. I'm a little bit unsure of that at the moment. I haven't seen the Minions at all. I haven't seen those movies either. However, if there was one thing that did kind of make me nervous about this movie, you know, more so than Chris Pratt's voice, it's the fact that this was being directed or produced, I'm not really sure, by the same people responsible for the Teen Titans Go TV show. I mean, that show, I have to admit, it can be a bit of a guilty pleasure at times. I do enjoy it from time to time when I just want to let my brain rot, but having those people behind that TV show be responsible for this movie definitely made me a little bit nervous because I'm like, ugh, just don't make it something that's like impossible for older fans to get into. I understand that this is a kids movie and that it's ultimately supposed to appeal to children, but Mario is also like a multi-generational franchise. He's someone that appeals to all ages, and so I think they're definitely taking the right step by making so many different references in this movie and making people that have been with Mario for a long time really get into it based off of that. But hopefully the writing of this movie reflects that as well, because so many references can't hide the fact that you have very surface level writing. But the trailers themselves have seemed pretty decent in terms of the writing so far, so I'm not too concerned yet. Okay, we're gonna get to the very meaty part of this video, which is the fact that people really had a field day with taking my one comment about Chris Pratt's voice and just running with it in the comment section. Sure, Chris Pratt would do a terrible job. Yeah, that's why I turned off the video. Way too many people just can't stop crying about this. The second he complained about Chris Pratt as Mario, he already lost the argument. We really need to get over Chris Pratt voicing Mario at this point. This movie is not going to bomb because of Mario's voice. Literally no character is using the original voice, but Chris Pratt is singled out. Okay, so I think the first two comments are a little immature, to be honest, because I'm not sitting here saying that this movie is going to be outright terrible because of Chris Pratt. In fact, in that video, I did say after I made that comment that it's probably going to be one of the film's smaller problems. People are blowing it out to be this huge thing, but honestly, Chris Pratt, as long as he doesn't do like an outright terrible job at Mario and doesn't look like he's going to, people are going to get used to his voice and people are going to accept it. You know, that's just how it is with voice actors. Again, I'll reference Sonic the Hedgehog. When they changed from Ryan Drummond to Jason Griffith, I had a huge problem with it for years and years, but eventually I got used to it because that was his voice. It stayed his voice, he got better at it. It is what it is. But here's a root issue of why I think Chris Pratt as Mario is not going to be a great performance. Based off of what I've heard so far, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of character put into his voice. Sure, he's trying to speak with some kind of accent here, sure, that's fine, but it's just not an endearing voice performance yet. You know, it doesn't really seem like someone that's like truly bewildered by what's going on around him. It just seems like Chris Pratt's going in, reading his lines and calling it a day. Sprinkling some kind of like Brooklyn Italian accent on it, whatever you want to call it, onto his performance and just being like, yeah, that's it. That's Mario right there. It just doesn't seem like he's really giving it his all. Like there's not a lot of emotional impact in his voice so far. But then again, they've chosen very minute parts of Mario's voice to showcase to us, so it's also not really fair to judge it based off of that. I'm just gonna say that based off of what I have so far and what I've seen and heard, I'm not very impressed. And the reason why I'm okay with all the other voice actors is because you can tell that they've given it their all in the performances they've given so far. Like Jack Black as Bowser, he is doing amazing. So much emotion, so much wit, so much devious energy going into his voice over there, and just based off of the way that he's like promoting the movie and stuff with the Bowser costume and Kelly Clarkson show, you can tell that he's fully invested in that role in a way that I just don't see for Chris Pratt. I'm also gonna praise Charlie Day because I think he just has a voice that lends itself to cartoon characters very, very well, and his high-pitched like skittish nature of his voice is perfect for Luigi. So yeah, it's not the original voices of the characters, but they embody the character's personality so well that I don't mind it at all. In fact, I really like the portrayals here. I will say though that this does kind of harken back to the fact that I don't think Mario has a strong personality, so in a way Chris Pratt's voice kind of does suit Mario in a way because he doesn't have a strong personality, and so maybe they just wanted a voice that was like unoffensive, kind of neutral, and maybe that's gonna work for Mario. Maybe the other characters are gonna have to do the heavy weightlifting in terms of character development and character expression, and you know what, maybe that'll be fine in the long run. I just don't think that Chris Pratt is really bringing 100% to the role based off of what I heard so far, but that's my opinion. So if you think that his voice clips have been amazing so far, then good on ya. I'm looking forward to seeing the movie and seeing that if he can prove me wrong, but based off of what they've shown so far, I'm just not heavily impressed. And then I kind of wanted to go into some of these other comments over here about Mario's personality, you know, the stuff that I actually talked about in my video. Mario already has a personality, maybe not as developed as Sonic, but he does have one. He is always happy and generous, always ready to help everyone, even some of his enemies, and always persevere no matter what challenges he is confronted by. Maybe it's not enough for a movie, I just want to clarify that Mario doesn't have zero personality. And you know, that's a fair point. I kind of made it out to seem like Mario didn't have a personality at all. He does have some remnant of a personality. You know, it's very happy, very generous, very upbeat, just a positive figure overall, just a perfect like blank avatar for a player to go into a game. And so if that's the personality that they want Mario to convey in the movie, then yeah, fine. It doesn't have to be all over the place, and maybe Chris Pratt's performance will make sense in the actual movie, but I'ma just wait and see. But alright, I think that's the overall crux of what I wanted to say about Chris Pratt's voice and also some of the comments in my video. I think it's an an interesting discussion overall, and people really are giving it their all in terms of their opinions. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's just opinions. I'm not like the Holy Bible when it comes to video game movie adaptation opinions, so don't take my word as fact. This is just my opinion. These are just my thoughts, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they evolve once the movie comes out. But let me know what you think about the movie so far in the comment section below. Are you excited for it? Are you not excited for it? Let me know why not. What's your biggest concern about it? What's your most exciting thing that you're looking forward to? I want to hear all of it. And if you want a more in-depth discussion as to why I think the biggest challenge for this movie is not Chris Pratt's voice, then check out this video right now. But alright y'all, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Riders, riding out.